Hey guys, it's Dad from BeingMommywithStyle and happy almost 2020. So the time I'm making this video is still 2019, but I'm hoping to get this edited and uploaded before the new year. But either way, happy new year. I hope you're having a great holiday celebrating with friends and family. And I thought that this was a great time to sit down and do a reflection video, as I sometimes do from year to year. So I've got a bit of water here because I am losing my voice, which is also something, you know, that happens this time of year. So I've got my Mickey macaroon cup, and also kind of ties into a little bit of some of the things I'm going to talk about, of course. And I wanted to talk about my word of the year. I have a really bad habit of, I can remember last year's word, but I can't always remember the words that came before in the years previous. You guys are actually sometimes way better about that than I am. So my word of the year for 2019 was Serenity. And I started off the year really kind of frustrated, just to be completely honest. I was frustrated, felt very unappreciated. I just felt like I needed to make a change for myself, and for me that came in the form of career. And I felt like I needed to be doing something else. I needed to be somewhere else. And I kind of just went into the year with some of those sorts of feelings. So for me, the word serenity was about finding that peace for myself and just getting to that place where I felt that serenity. Ironically enough, midway through the year, after, you know, winds and turns, and there's of course been videos on this, so you can go watch those, I ended up kind of opening up the door to see what job opportunities there was for me, and I ended up finding a position that was at a place that I would pretty much say would be like top 5 dream job places, like these places that just exist in your life that you don't really ever think you would actually work there, but you know, I guess could if you live near them. So anyhow, I got a job there. It was a, you know, part of my youth, and it's one of the biggest kind of tourist destinations in northern Alabama, but I think Alabama in general. So it was really kind of one of those, the stars aligned, not to be punny, but stars aligned type of deals. So I ended up, you know, opening up the door, this position that I found that I really felt fit me in a number of ways, kind of everything aligned and just felt right. So I'm ending the year, long story short, feeling very resolved as far as that's concerned. I feel like I ended up in the right spot. I feel much more appreciated. I feel like I have some room for creativity. I have room for growth. I have mentors, and, you know, all these sorts of things kind of fell into place. So that's been awesome. I also feel like, you know, for YouTube, it's been kind of this, I want to do YouTube, but I want to also work and have a career outside of YouTube. And so how do I make all this mesh together? And it has been kind of, you know, an ebb and flow. And if you're watching this video, you've been along on a lot of that with me. So thanks for hanging in there on the journey. But I kind of hit the end of the year where, you know, the previous position I was in, it really wasn't looked highly upon to have a lot of like extracurricular activities outside of the position that you were in at that job. They wanted everything to be solely focused around your job there. And the position that I'm in now, it's actually highly regarded that, you know, people have their own hobbies and their interests and their own businesses and their own personalities outside of what they do for work. So I'm kind of in this different mental mindset going into 2020 of what do I want to do with YouTube. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. Obviously, there's been a lot of things going on with COPA, which if you don't know what that is, there's a lot of videos out on it. And I talked a little bit about it in some of my other videos, but just kind of keeping those changes in mind. So I've been trying to kind of keep that into account with any changes I might make as well. And yeah, just kind of figuring out what I want 2020 to look like for me. So last year's word was serenity, and I really feel like, you know, it had a lot of ebbs and flows, but I really got to this place at the end of the year where I feel like everything's kind of flowing right now, and everything just kind of feels good to go and not stressful, and just, you know, kind of a good flow, I guess you could say. So when I really started thinking about what I wanted my word to be for 2020, there was really only one word that kind of kept popping in mind, and the word is growth. And I don't mean growth in the sense of like YouTube channel growth. I'm not talking about numbers. I'm not talking about anything like that. But I think that 2020 is going to be a big year for me personal growth wise. You know, for the past year, I really focused a lot on personal development with the end goal in mind of hopefully you grow from that. But I think that I'm going to be more focused and more comfortable with investing in myself and following my own instinct. And if I feel like something is worth investing in, either time-wise or equipment-wise or money-wise, or just taking those moments to invest in just taking a breather, I feel like I'm in a better mental space to be able to do that now after this past year of ebb and flow. And I feel like 2020 for me is going to be a year of growth. So whether it ends up being a year of growth, we will find out. But again, I'm not talking about growth in a sense of, you know, oh, I want to hit this number on this and hit this number on that. Not that kind of growth, but an abstract, like personal growth type of year for me. I really feel like it's going to be kind of a coming into my own type of year. And I feel like the past year has kind of got me to that solid point where I can really just focus on growing myself over the next year. So it's kind of a neat feeling to have that feeling. Other than that, I think that, you know, now that I feel like, you know, everything's kind of calmed down career-wise and I feel like I'm kind of on the right trajectory there, I feel like I have the mental space to do a few things. One, I'm back looking at handbags again, so if you followed me over on Bags for Bubbles, you probably went, hooray! And two, I also feel like I have mental space to figure out what I want to do with YouTube. I feel more encouraged to keep doing it now at this point. I have a number of awesome opportunities that have come my way, some that I know for sure I'll be doing next year, some that the opportunities come up and I don't know yet whether I will be doing it, but I'm certainly thankful that the opportunity's been presented to me. And what I mean by that is we're planning on going to the Disney Creators Celebration, which is in February. A week after we would get back from that, I've also been offered a spot which would be just for me to go to a mastermind, which if you don't know what a mastermind is, it's like a smaller, really niche down group of, in this case, marketers, social media marketers. And it's like, you know, 30 to 40 people. So a very, very small group, very kind of more in-depth, intense sessions. And that would be on Carnival Cruise Line. I have not decided whether or not it's a week after I get back from the Disney trip. And I'm already committed to the Disney trip. I've already, you know, fully committed to that. So I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm grateful for the opportunities that kind of seem to be coming my way now that I've opened my heart and kind of said, yes, we will keep doing YouTube to a certain extent. I don't think that, you know, we've already talked about daily vlogging, and daily vlogging is not really on the table, but I have been thinking a lot about what I want to do and what I want to do with my channels wise, especially keeping in mind the COPA stuff, keeping in mind that, you know, I have a number of channels. So I have 5 channels, actively uploading on a few of them at this point. Some of them just get random views because YouTube right now is pushing DIY things and reviews and stuff like that is what they seem to be focusing on as far as older videos that they're pushing. So I have a channel that I haven't uploaded on in probably over 2 years that it's racking up views and comments of like these really old videos. So I guess the story there, or the moral of the story, is don't start 5 or 6 YouTube channels. But you know, I originally started out on YouTube a number of years ago. Actually, I started making YouTube videos not intently for YouTube. I started making YouTube videos to have some place to upload them to put on a forum, if you don't know my backstory, and actually just get information to a forum that I was a moderator at. It was a handbag forum. And then all of a sudden these videos started getting these views and these comments, and they asked to put monetization on my videos. That's back in the days when they put it on individual videos. And I started paying more attention to the YouTube side and realized that I needed to kind of talk to that audience over there, and that's how Bags for Bubbles was started. Bags for Bubbles was never really intended to be a standalone channel. It wasn't meant to be a YouTube channel, but it just turned into one. And that's how I got started in all of this. But a lot has changed. I have kids now. Well, I've been married the whole time. That hasn't changed. But I have kids now. I didn't have kids when I started. I was in my 20s when I started making videos. I think it was around 20, I was in my late 20s, I think, when I started making videos. So when you look back at those really old videos on Bags for Bubbles, I was in my 20s, my late 20s. And I'm in my later mid-30s right now, my mid-30s. So I really almost am starting to be kind of inching in on 40 in the next few years, and in a completely different market than I even started out in. So all this is to say, I've been thinking about, you know, how much has changed since I started doing videos and what I really want to be doing, a few years from now? Like, what do I need to set up now to be doing a few years from now? I've been thinking a lot about Bags for Bubbles. I've been trying to figure out, you know, with all of the recent changes that we really don't know yet how they're going to be affecting channels until a few months down the line. And I thought about the audiences that just inherently came to what we'll call the two kind of main channels that I juggle, which I would consider, you know, Bags for Bubbles and Being Mommy with Style to have a little bit of overlap of audience. And for Bags for Bubbles, the audience was really trained for like sit-down videos like this. That was more what they look for. It was reviews, handbag reviews, chatty vlogs, and that's really all that I did over there. And so I started Being Mommy with Style with the intent of I'd become a mom at that point. I really wasn't in the mindset to be like changing bags every single day. It was not my focus. I was using a few bags exclusively, and they had to be carrying diapers and wipes and mommy stuff. And so I kind of switched gears to more the mommy focused channel and taking you along on the journey of stay-at-home mom. And obviously that's what I focused on for a number of years. So I really sat down and thought about kind of this next phase of life that I'm in now. Obviously sit-down videos are a lot easier for me to do at this point because it just is. When you're doing a day in the life, you know, you're following yourself throughout the day, and it's not necessarily hard to film, but if you're working full-time, it's just easier to get like a 10 or 15 minute block. Like, this is probably gonna end up being 20 minutes, but a 10 or 15 minute block to do a video and sit down, talk, do the video, and then you can edit it later. And that's just what works out better when you're working. So I thought about it, and I like both channels. I like the idea of both channels, and I feel like going forwards, my audience on Bags for Bubbles or doing those types of videos really is going to be what is more conducive to my lifestyle. So, my current lifestyle. And so, when I started thinking about it, I have a name picked out. Bags for Bubbles was never intended to be a YouTube channel. It was never intended to be a brand. It was my forum name, and so I signed up for YouTube with my forum name that I was posting in the forum, so, you know, obviously people would know it was me. So I have a channel name reserved. I have had this name, I've got the URL and all the social media and all of that. I've had it reserved for actually a year, so it's not been a short time that I've been thinking about this. But I'm pretty sure what I'm gonna do in the new year is I'm wanting to start making handbag videos again. So this channel name would lend itself to not just, you know, handbags and that sort of thing, what I would typically do over there, but also some of the travel reviews and sit-down videos that I do like that. And so what I'm thinking about doing going forwards is keeping sit-down travel review videos, handbag review videos, sit-down chatty vlogs. You know, sometimes I just want to sit down and chat. Sometimes I just want to make a video and get feedback. And I feel like that audience over there is more what they were basically trained to watch for, because that's the type of videos that I did when I started out. And in fact, fun fact, when I first started out, I didn't even show my face. For probably about the first 6 months, I just showed my hands with the bags that I was holding, and I didn't even show my face for probably about 6 months of making videos. Obviously that changed. And then, so I feel like what's going to happen, and I've been thinking about this for a long time, and obviously I'm making the video on it now. So what I believe is going to happen in the new year is I'm going to rebrand Bags for Bubbles, because it was never intended to be a channel. And I'm going to move all of my planning, review, sit down, chatty vlog type of videos over there with the intent of uploading about once a week over there. I'm going to keep all of my travel videos, our, you know, day in the life videos from Disney, all those sorts of day in the lifestyle videos, day in the life travel vlogs, day in the life just general weekend vlogs, weekend routines, morning routines, evening routines, all those vloggy type of videos. I'm losing my voice. All those vlog type videos, keep those on Being Mommy with Style. And I feel like that is a happy medium for everyone, and almost kind of circles around to where I started. Just with the intent in mind that the two names would actually work together, instead of being kind of completely randomly don't have anything to do with each other, as Bags for Bubbles and Being Mommy with Style are. In fact, people will find me on this channel, Being Mommy with Style, and they'll be like, oh, you're the lady that I looked at your handbag collection. Like, they don't even realize, you know, that I have one channel or the other. And I think that's where I'm going in the new year. And it won't mean any more videos. It will not mean, you know, more frequent uploads. It'll be vlogs over here, sit down videos over there. I would like to start talking about handbags again, sharing my handmade collection, accessories, etc. I was very Louis Vuitton focused there for a while. It's not going to be probably my main focus, but whatever I'm into, going into this next phase of life, I feel like there is, you know, well, the people that were watching, I'm assuming y'all got older too, but I feel like, you know, there's this probably segment out there of people that are like myself and have kids that are now getting older. The world doesn't revolve around every single thing that they're doing. I finally feel like I'm getting my own life back and I can have my own interests again. So that's interesting. And I'm closing in on 40. I'm not gonna be 40 yet. I mean, I'm 36, so you can't even really necessarily round up, you know, quickly and say I'm gonna be 40, but I'm closing in on that. And I'm trying to think, you know, ahead to what's gonna make sense when I am 39, getting ready to turn 40, assuming YouTube's still around. So that's what I'm thinking. And that's my plans for the new year. So that kind of ties in with growth as well, because I feel like I'm growing in my stance on YouTube. For a really long time, I was very anti-change your name. I do know why, because I search for people based on their name. And a lot of times YouTube does not show your videos in your subscription feed. So especially back when that started like 5 or 6 years ago, it's been going on for a long time. I would search for people by their channel name, and I would get really aggravated when they changed their channel name, because then I would have to figure out what their new channel name was, and you know, I felt hassled by it. But at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter with how YouTube works, because the majority of the people that are watching, just the long and short of it, the majority of the people that are watching are people that are finding me through search, and at that point it really doesn't matter per se what the channel name is. But for the people that are searching for a channel name, I found that the algorithm's gotten better, and if you put in Bags for Bubbles, it should start pulling new videos from whatever the new channel name is as well. Hopefully that makes sense. So I think that's where I'm headed, and I will do some more kind of planned videos going into the year to kind of give you a better idea of what types of videos. But I think pretty much everyone over here, I'm getting text messages now, I think everyone that watches this channel prefers, like, you all will watch occasional sit down video like this, but I think you prefer hauls, vlogs, routines, etc. So when I can make those types of videos, I'm gonna upload those in Being Mommy with Style. When I'm talking about handbags, Sephora items that I bought, you know, whatever I'm loving right now, new work outfits, whatever, I feel like that is more at home on Bags for Bubbles. So hopefully that's not too confusing. In the end, it really doesn't matter, because I get so many more views out of search than subscribers, and that's just by YouTube doesn't push a lot of videos. Or I've even heard a ton of people have said, like, I didn't even know you were still uploading videos. YouTube like unsubscribed me. So with that in mind, I feel like it's probably what works best in each place. So that way then, if you are looking for that type of video, then you can stay on that channel and you can just watch those sorts of videos. This kind of ended up in a little bit of a tangent. For 2020, I am looking forward to almost kind of starting anew. I almost kind of feel like it's a fresh start. And I'm looking forward to bringing some fun travel experiences, some new travel experiences. We've got some fun things planned for the middle to end of the year. I've got a couple of invitations that are outstanding as well, that I'm waiting to hear back on some of them. Some of them I have, and some of them I'm just making a decision on. So it's already shaping up to be a really cool year with a lot of cool, unique opportunities that have been presented. So I'm excited to just go for it, to try them out. And I'm also going to be traveling for work as well. So I'm in a position where, you know, I'll be vlogging those travel trips as well and be going to some interesting places for work as well. So I'll just kind of take you along for the experience, and hopefully if you enjoy liking vlogs, then you can hang out over here. If you want to do more of the sit down hauls, you know, like girly stuff, all the stuff that I normally do over there. Handbags, makeup, whatever. Home stuff is the only one I cannot figure out where to put it. I feel like it probably ends up on BeingMommywithStyle, but I don't know yet. Like, you know, home decor hauls and stuff. But I don't do them that often that it probably doesn't matter one way or the other. But anyways, I think it should be a fun year. And I hope that you have an awesome new year going into 2020. It's so weird to think about, like, it's gonna be the 20s. Like, when you think the 20s, like, you think, you know, roaring into the 20s, the 1920s. This year, more than any other year, I think, has kind of tripped me up saying it, because I guess 1920 and 1930 were less abstract to me than the earlier time periods. You know, if you say 1916, it was very clearly in the 1900s. But like starting in the 20s, like 20s, 30s, 40s, is supposed to have a 19 on the front. So I think this is the first year where it's really kind of tripped me up that I have to remind myself 2020. But all that aside, we'll all figure out what date to put on our checks if you ever have to write another check again. And I hope you have an awesome start to your year. I'm looking forward to hopefully a year of growth. And share with me down below what your word of the year, what you think it will be as well. And thanks so much for watching. Have a great day.